Good evening. Welcome to the opening night of Sawtooth Radio Theater, coming to you from deep in the heart of Beaver Country on the campus of Buena Vista University in the city beautiful Storm Lake, Iowa. Sawtooth Radio Theater brings hilarious comedy, intense drama, beautiful music, and local interest to the airwaves on 97.5 KBVU, Alta Storm Lake, BVTV, and on the web at kbvu975.com. I'm Guy Tannenbaum, your announcer for this evening, and tonight's shows include Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Flywheel, Shyster, and Flywheel, The Shadow in The Silent Avenger, and The Philadelphia Story. But first, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Buck Rogers is back on the air. Buck and Wilma and all their fascinating friends and mysterious enemies in the super scientific 25th century. And now for Buck Rogers and his thrilling adventures 500 years into the future. As you probably know, Buck was born right here in our own times, in this 20th century. And the story of how he got started on his amazing adventures so far in the future is mighty interesting. But instead of telling you about it, let's turn the dial that will project us ahead in time and find out all about it that way. Now, the capital of 25th century America is Niagara. And there it is that Dr. Hewer, the great scientist, has his marvelous laboratory. In one room of it, he's working on a strange-looking device that sends a peculiar greenish light down onto a human figure lying on a table before him. Shall we join him there? Okay, then here we go. 500 years into the future.
The ray is putting you to sleep. To sleep. Relax and sleep. 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 Good. The ray's had its effect. Now I can go ahead and, Oh, yes. Come in. Oh, hello, Wilma.
Hello, Dr. Hewer. My, why don't you have more light in here? Coming in from outside, I can hardly see a thing in this spooky greenish glow.
Part of a little experiment I'm conducting.
Oh.
But tell me, have you seen anything of Black Barney? Here in Niagara.
Why, no. Hasn't given up his job of Prime Minister on Mars, has he?
Oh, no. But one of his Martian rocket ship factories has worked out a new control device for me. I'd rather hope he'd get here with it today.
Oh.
Meantime, I've made ready for final tests on this little invention here. Like to stay and see it?
I'd love to, Doctor, and you know it. But I just dropped in to find out if you'd seen any sign of... Oh!
What's the matter?
Doctor, what's happened to him? Is he all right?
Oh, I see.
What's happened to him? Why is he lying here on this table?
Now don't worry, Wilma.
Don't worry. Doctor, what are you?
He has offered to be the subject of my test. That is all.
But then, why is he...
He's simply lying here, comfortably asleep, under the influence of my electro-hypnotic ray.
Oh, I was afraid something had happened to him.
Not a thing. Surely you don't think for a minute that I'd do anything to harm...
No, of course not, but the electro-hypnotic ray... Are you sure this experiment won't hurt him in any way?
Oh, absolutely sure.
Well, you can't blame me for being a little shocked for a minute. But what's that thing up near his head that looks like a miniature power plant? With a loudspeaker on top of it?
That, Wilma, is my latest scientific achievement. My newly perfected electro-hypnometalophone.
Your what?
Well, you remember the metalloscope, right?
Why, sure. When you put a person under the mentaloscope, all his memories showed up on a sort of moving picture screen.
That's right. And this is an adaptation of it. With this, the electro-hypnometalophone, the memories of the subject will come to us verbally through the loudspeaker here, provided, of course, my calculations are correct.
Sort of read a person's mind aloud, you mean?
Yes, that's it exactly.
Where do you ever get ideas for things like this, Dr. Hewer? Surely people don't just barge in and ask for you to work them out.
Hardly. The scientific research that led up to the development of this machine was started way back in the 20th century.
Why, I always thought that the people back in the 20th century weren't much better than savages. And what they knew about scientific things.
Oh, no, not at all, Wilma. You owe a great deal to the scientists of those days. Were it not for the great groundwork laid by men like Einstein, Fitzgerald, Compton, Millikan, and the rest, why, we'd be without a great many of the things we have today.
They never really got anywhere with rocket ship development, or anything like that, though, did they?
Well, successful rocket ship flight depends on two things that have been brought into existence only recently.
One of them must be a neutron.
Yes, a neutron, the material that defies gravity and makes it possible to lift a big spaceship off the Earth and away from its terrific gravitational pull, without too much wasted power.
And what's the other?
Impervium, the only metal capable of withstanding the high temperature of rocket blast for any length of time.
Oh.
But now, let's go ahead with this experiment.
Yes, let's. And you can tell me how this apparatus works as we go along, and just what it does to him.
Well, not very much to tell you about the apparatus itself. Except that here, in this little pad under his head, is an extremely sensitive and high-frequency response piezoelectric oscillator of quite complicated design.
Yes. I guess so.
Yes, and I succeeded in tuning it to receive the minute electronic impulses that emanate from his brain.
Yeah, okay.
Through a medium of super-radiating patroniformer.
Yes. I see. What?
In other words, we're able to obtain sufficient amplification of the impulse output to register audibly through a process of phonemic node magnification. And that's pretty much it.
I think I'll understand it better when I see this thing work.
And I shall be very disappointed if it doesn't.
Don't you worry about that, Doctor. Your inventions always work.
I have been rather lucky with all my experiments, haven't I?
Lucky?
Now, let's proceed with this one.
All right. Anything I can do to help?
No thanks. First of all, we have to switch in the electroniformer.
That electroniformer makes a sort of eerie sound.
Yes. And now, when I switch on this microphone and speak to him, my words will be registered directly on his brain. Not through his ears, you understand, but directly on his brain.
Uh-huh.
And if we're successful, we'll receive his subconscious response through the loudspeaker.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Now, young man, what is your name? I said, what is your name?
Buck Rogers.
Wilma, it worked!
But, Doctor...
My invention's a success.
Doctor, what happened?
It works even better than I thought it would.
He didn't even move his lips, though. How could we hear him talk if he didn't move his lips?
It read his mind aloud, Wilma. It read his mind aloud.
It sounded like his real voice, though.
Of course, because he thinks of speech in the same manner that he utters it.
Great day. It doesn't seem possible. Ask him some more questions.
Yes. Yes, by all means. Listen. Buck, you were born back in the 20th century, were you not?
Yes, sir, but this is the 25th century.
You see, Wilma, his memory is preserved intact.
May I ask him a question?
Surely. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Buck, how did you happen to come into the 25th century?
One day, in the year 1919, I was in the lower workings of an abandoned mine near the city of Pittsburgh,
Yes.
when all of a sudden the supports that held up the walls and ceiling gave way, and the whole thing caved in on me.
Yes.
Some kind of peculiar gas was released. It put me to sleep. It kept me in a state of suspended animation for 500 years. Then the ground shifted and let in fresh air, and I woke up.
Well, how did you know you were in suspended animation for 500 years?
Instead of the year 1919, it was the year 24 something. To be exact, it was 24.
How did you know what year it was?
I was told about it by Lieutenant Wilma Deering, a beautiful girl soldier I met when I first came to.
Oh, then you knew Wilma Deering.
Doctor!
I certainly do. She's the finest and bravest girl who ever lived. Why, Wilma's...
Buck Rogers?
Yes?
Did you find anything new and different when you first came into the 25th century?
Oh, a great deal, thanks to Dr. Hewer,
Dr. Hewer?
the greatest scientist who ever lived.
What's that?
Nowhere in the universe is there a scientist who's done so much good for humanity, or done anything they could even begin to.
Now, wait a minute, Buck.
Yes?
Just forget Dr. Hewer and go on with what you were saying.
But he's the man who invented the first rocket ship that took us to the moon, and it was that trip that proved the practicability of interplanetary flight.
Proved the practicability of interplanetary flight. Nothing wrong with this machine, Doctor.
Where else have you gone by rocket ship, Buck?
Well, first to Mars, where he helped King Arnaldo put down an invasion by the Martian Tiger Men. Then to Saturn, and the Saturnian moons, Venus, Jupiter, and even far-off Pluto.
Which planet did you find most interesting?
Well, that's hard to say. Jupiter has the biggest field for exploration simply because it's so much larger than the rest of the planets.
Very true. Do you expect to do any more rocketing or through outer space?
There's nothing else I'd rather do, sir.
Well, my. Do you like my little contraption?
It's wonderful, Doctor. I told you it would work.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to ask Buck? I mean, before I turn off this green ray.
Let's wake him up and see if he remembers anything that happened during the experiment.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Come on, Buck. Wake up. I say, wake up. You've been asleep.
Asleep?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Hello, Wilma.
Hello.
Where'd you come from? What are you doing here?
I've just been let in on the test of Dr. Hewer's
Electrohypnometalophone.
Yes.
Oh, doggone it. Instead of helping with your test, I fell asleep. Say, I'm awfully sorry, Doctor.
Sorry.
Well, yes, sir. I was going to help out.
I put you to sleep with this machine.
Oh, really?
Right.
I guess that one's on me. How'd it work?
Even better than I expected.
Well, good.
Oh, it was marvelous, Buck. You told us your whole life history without even opening your mouth.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
It's all right, Buck. You didn't say a single thing you shouldn't have.
Well, thank goodness for that. Say, let's put Wilma under this thing.
Oh, no, you don't.
You have to do something for excitement around here. Come on, Wilma.
You're never satisfied unless there's something exciting going on, aren't you, Buck?
Well, it's not as bad as all that, Doctor, but things have been sort of slow around here lately.
Wait until we start making tests for the new type of the gyrocosmic relativator I've just devised.
A new one?
Isn't that the equipment on a rocket ship that makes it possible to take off without much loss of time for pickup?
That's right. And without the usual physical effects of too quick acceleration, it removes from your ship the normal effects of weight and inertia and momentum and the like.
Well, how have you improved the relativator, Doctor?
Buck, if this new instrument does what I hope it will, there will be practically no limit to the speed of a rocket ship immediately upon taking off.
Good night. Imagine getting into the control cabin, opening the power lever, and going a couple of 1,000 miles an hour. Just like that.
That's exactly what we'll be able to do, Wilma.
Boy, that hardly seems possible, does it? But when can we test it out, Doctor? Have you already got it installed in a rocket ship?
No, Buck. As a matter of fact, I don't even have it yet.
Huh?
Oh, it's been made up all right. The one we used for the test, but it isn't here right yet.
I don't understand, Doctor.
Why,
Yes, sir. Can't we get it here? The sooner we can get it and start trying it out, the sooner we can break the monotony of just sitting around doing...
Wait, Buck, listen.
Yes, Doctor. I hear it too.
Why, yes, but what under the sun is it?
Look here, out the window.
Good heavens, Wilma!
It's coming right down this way.
Wilma!
Buck!
Say, Buck's wish for excitement certainly came true in a hurry. Great day, I wonder what that was. And I certainly hope he and Wilma and Dr. Hewer are all right. Tonight's show is brought to you by Paxton's Jewelry, the diamond shop right here in Storm Lake. Paxton's knows that every day is someone's special day, so stop in to get the perfect gift to match. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, or birthday, Paxton's friendly and welcoming staff makes it easy to find exactly what you're looking for. Paxton's has a wide selection of styles and prices, free gift wrapping, and interest-free financing available. So stop into Paxton's, your local diamond shop, to find the perfect gift for that special person. From sci-fi to comedy, Sawtooth Radio Theater has it all. Some of you may recall the comedy of Groucho, Harpo, Zeppo, and Chico as the Marx Brothers. The Zany Brothers provided audiences with their own unique brand of comedy throughout the vaudeville era, so let's bring on the Sawtooth Radio Theater actors to take us back there again in Flywheel, Shyster, and Flywheel. The curtain is rising on the law offices of Flywheel, Shyster, and Flywheel. That's Miss Dimple at the switchboard.
Law offices of Flywheel, Shyster, and Flywheel? No, Mr. Flywheel isn't in. He's in court. Trying your husband's case? Uh-huh. Just a second. Here he is. Oh, Mr. Flywheel, here's Mrs. Watson on the phone.
Good. I was just gonna call her. Hello, Mrs. Watson. How are you? That's fine. Your husband? Oh, yes, I meant to tell you. He's got 5 years in prison. But don't worry, Mrs. Watson. I've got a very pleasant surprise for you. I'm going to knock 10% off my bill. Goodbye. Miss Dimple, put down that telephone book. This office is no place for a bookworm.
Yes, Mr. Flywheel.
Any mail this morning?
Yes. There's a letter from the typewriter company. They say you haven't paid for the typewriter yet?
Tell me, why should I pay for the typewriter? You're the only one who uses it.
But Mr. Flywheel,
Never mind. Take a letter to those cheap chiselers. Gentlemen, I never ordered that typewriter. If I did, you didn't send it. If you sent it, I never got it. If I got it, I paid for it, and if I didn't, I won't. Best regards.
Anything else, Mr. Flywheel?
Yes, love and kisses, but don't send them. Those are for you. And now, take a letter to the Peerless Building Supply Company. Gentlemen, I refuse to accept a penny less than $50 for the electrical fixtures in my office. In case I do not hear from you, I shall conclude that you do not wish to pay more than $12. So, in order to lose no time, I shall accept the $12.
But Mr. Flywheel, you can't sell those fixtures. They belong to the landlord.
Well, he ought to be glad. I'm only selling his fixtures so I can pay for his rent. Say, tell that assistant of mine to wrap up the chandelier.
Mr. Ravelli? He isn't in yet.
Well, when he comes in, you better tell him to take out more fire insurance. I'm gonna fire him on Saturday.
Oh, why, here he comes. Hello, Mr. Ravelli.
Hello, Miss Dimp. Hello, boss.
Ravelli, Do you realize you're a half hour late?
I couldn't help it, Mr. Flywheel. I fell down the whole flight of stairs.
Well, does it take you a half hour to fall down one flight of stairs, Ravelli? Anyway, I don't believe that story.
All right. If you don't believe that story, I'll tell you another one. I came late because we had a little money trouble at our house.
Money trouble, Mr. Ravelli?
Yeah, my little brother, he swallowed a nickel.
Really? What did you do?
Well, next week's his birthday, so I let him keep the nickel.
Hey, you two stop jabbering. Ravelli, clean out my desk.
I cleaned out your desk yesterday. That's where I got the nickel from.
Come in.
Ravelli, I'm going into my private office. When I come back, I don't want to catch you loafing.
All right, if you don't want to catch me loafing, you better whistle before you comes out.
I said come in. Mr. Ravelli, I think she's selling something.
Well, 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 just what I like to see. A busy little office with bright, smiling faces.
Oh, shut up.
Excuse me. You see, I represent the Excelsior House-to-House Merchandise Company.
Well, there's nobody here by that name. This is Flywheel's office.
You don't understand. If you'll just give me a moment of your time, I'd like to show you a few choice values in neckties, safety razors, hair tonic. Say, let me tell you about this tonic. It's the real thing.
Oh, all right, give me a taste.
No. Now, before I began using this tonic, my hair was getting pretty gray.
Well, it don't look so great now.
You just try it once. We guarantee every bottle.
Oh, the bottle looks, she looks all right, but I think the stuff inside is no good. Hey, how much for that necktie?
Now you're talking. I'm gonna sell you this tie for $1.
$1?
It's a steal at that price.
Hey, if I'm gonna steal it, I'm gonna get it for nothing.
$1 and the tie is yours. Why, I paid 95 cents for the tie myself.
Well, if you paid 95 cents, why should I pay $1?
Well, the nickel is my profit. You know, I've got a husband to support.
You think I'm gonna help you support your husband? Nobody supports my wife, not even me. I'll tell you what, you'll leave the necktie and I'll send you 95 cents care of Woodlawn Cemetery.
Woodlawn Cemetery? That is not my address.
Well, it will be by the time I send you the 95 cents. Some joke.
I can see I'm wasting my time here.
Well, it took you long enough to find out.
Goodbye.
Did I hear someone come in?
Yeah, a wise guy. She wanted a nickel for her family.
A nickel for her husband? Wow, that sounds cheap enough. Was she good looking?
All right, come in.
Mr. Flywheel, permit to introduce myself. I'm Bertram T. Bardwell. I suppose you've been hearing about my charity work and my fight against crime?
Oh, yes, I've been hearing about it for a number of years. And I'm getting pretty sick of it too, Bardwell.
Well, I happened to be in court this morning when I heard your thrilling address. To the jury, sentenced that man to prison for 5 years, where he belongs.
My speech sent that guy to prison? It's a good one on the jury. I was defending him.
Just a moment, Mr. Flywheel. Let me ask you a question.
Hey, I got a question too. Hey, boss, what kind of animal likes dirt, always plays in the mud, and eats anything?
I know, Ravelli. It's you.
Somebody told you.
Now, Mr. Flywheel, my organization is waging an intensive fight against crime in this city, and I feel that you're the man who can help us drive the crooks out of town.
Hey, why should we let him drive? Let him walk.
Hey, nice work, Ravelli. Huh?
You see, gentlemen, my committee is determined to rid the city of public enemy number 1, Big Joe Crookley. Although Crookley himself is in hiding, he has a crime organized like a big business. In fact, some of his gangsters have an office only 2 doors from here.
Bardwell, you came to the right man. There isn't enough room in this town for gangsters and me, Waldorf T. Flywheel. That's why we're putting up a big hotel in the spring.
Hey, boss, you leave it to me. Ravelli's a plenty smart. I go next door and tell them gangsters to move.
An excellent idea, Ravelli. But wait a minute. You've get your head on wrong.
Well, I don't know which way I'm going yet. And say, if you see my brother, tell him to wait.
I don't know your brother, Ravelli.
I never thought of that. All right, then tell him not to wait. Goodbye.
Mr. Flywheel, I can see you're a man of action. Sometime later, I'd like to interest you in our charity work, too.
Charity work. Bardwell, I'm not the kind of fella who likes to talk about his good deeds, but it may interest you to know that I've been sending pretty large-sized checks to various charities, and not even the charities know that the money came from me.
But, Mr. Flywheel, I don't understand. Couldn't they tell by the name on the checks?
No. That's how modest I am. I didn't even sign the checks.
Mr. Flywheel, what's this? Someone just put a note under the door.
Well, pick up the door and get it.
It says, why, good heavens! It's from Crookley's gangsters. They kidnapped Mr. Ravelli for meddling in their affairs. Listen to this. Unless you send us $10,000, we will kill Emmanuel Ravelli.
They'll kill him? Mr. Flywheel, what are you gonna do?
Keep it cool, Bardwell. Miss Dibble, take a letter to Big Joe Crookley. Dear Joe, receive yours of the 5th, a letter, in which you state that unless I send $10,000, you'll kill Ravelli. Haven't got the money, but the proposition sounds very attractive. Send for the details.
What if he brings a cat? Hey, Ravelli. Ravelli, put that dish down. I'm talking to you.
Oh. Hello, Mr. Crookley. Sit down. Have a piece of pie. I just had 3 pieces myself, and I'm afraid to eat anymore.
What?
Well, if I eat too much pie, I'm afraid I get a pie-urea.
Look here, Mug. We've been treating you pretty nice. You know why? Because if Flywheel don't show up with that $10,000 today, you ain't gonna live very long.
Are you crazy? I feel fine. I think I'll need some more pie.
Who is it?
Say, Chief, there's this guy coming in. I think it's the Flywheel.
Flywheel? Don't let him in till I hide the pie.
Bring him up here.
Okay, Chief. This way, mister.
Well, Flywheel,
Cut out the formalities. When are you gonna kill Ravelli?
Oh. Hey, boss, is that what they want to do?
Don't be alarmed, Ravelli. I've fixed everything. I've written a farewell note to your wife, and I've sent flowers to your sweetheart. I've also arranged for a nice, quiet little funeral, and there'll be 8 carriages for your family and a motorcycle for your friends.
Quit stalling, Ravelli. Did you raise the money?
Oh, I raised the money all right, but unfortunately I had to spend it all on Ravelli's funeral.
Come on in.
Hey, Chief, I gotta talk to ya.
All right, I'll be right with you. Listen, Flywheel, you and Ravelli stay right here. Come over here, Slim. What is it?
Chief, Butch just called and said we better lay low on these guys. The cops is all steamed up, about to kidnapping, and they kind of suspect you.
Okay, I'll try to grab off the dough and throw them both out.
Yeah, maybe you better, Chief.
Listen here, Flywheel. Forget the 10 grand. You give me $5,000 and Ravelli can leave here.
Oh, sure, I'd love to leave here. It's a very nice house you live in.
Well, what about the 5,000?
5,000? Quickly, can you make it 3,000?
All right, I'll make it 3,000.
That's talking, Crookley. Now, if you'll make it 2,000, I'll make it 1,000. And I haven't got the 1,000 in cash, but I'll give you my note. And for 30 days, and if it isn't paid by then, you can keep the note.
Listen, you guys, I'm gonna give you exactly 5 minutes to make up your minds. When I come back, you're either gonna fork over the dough, or it'll be coitins for both of you. Get me? Coitins for both of you. Now think fast.
Boss, we're in a tight fix. What are we gonna do?
First, Ravelli, I think I'll have a piece of that pie. Hey, why don't you take some for yourself?
Yeah, thanks, boss. I'm full.
Well, put some in your pockets.
Yeah, they're full too. It's Crookley.
Crookley, he's probably bringing us the curtains.
Better hurry up, you guys. You got just 2 more minutes.
Ravelli, got to give this a lot of thought.
Hey, boss, I got an idea.
Be quiet. I can't hear myself talk,
Oh,
Ravelli.
that's fine. You ain't missing anything. Say, it's cold in this room.
It is kind of chilly now that you mention it. Go and see what the thermometer says.
Ah, you can't believe that thermometer. One day it says it's a 60, the next day it says it's a 65. It's a no good.
Well, the thermometer ought to be kept at 70.
Oh, I can fix that easy. I'll just light a match under it. Watch.
Ravelli, please be careful of those draperies.
Hey, boss, they're burning. Oh, boy. Look at that fire.
Oh, quickly.
What do you want?
Say, can I use your telephone?
You think I'm crazy?
Answer my question first. Can I use your telephone?
And let you call the cops, I suppose.
No, not at all. I just wanted to call the fire department and ask them where the nearest alarm box is. Quickly, I don't want to seem like an old gossip, but your house is on fire.
What? What's that? What have you guys been up to? Slim!
What's up? What's wrong?
Quick, bring some water.
Oh, you can make mine a ginger ale.
And I'll take some pie. Hey, I know a song about pie. Good pie forever. Good pie forever. Good pie forever.
Say, quickly, why don't you call the fire department? I know all the boys at Hook and Ladder 78, and tell them to bring along a deck of pinochle cards.
Nothing doing. I don't want no cops or firemen snooping around here.
Yeah, he's right, boss. There's no use calling the fire department now. The place is on fire already.
Ravelli, open the windows. Open the windows. The smoke is beginning to get to me.
Yeah, there's too much smoke. You better put out your cigar.
Boys, the fire's spreading fast. Better start running.
Hey, Flywheel, I know a good place to run to.
Where, Ravelli, where?
To run to. To run to Canada. Hot stuff, eh, boss?
Oh, Slim, it's the fire department. The cops, too. Watch your step.
They're over there. It's this way.
Gee, Crookley, you better lay low.
Don't worry, Slim. The cops around here won't recognize me. Listen, Flywheel, no cracks about me being Joe Crookley, if you know what's good for you.
Count on me, Crookley, old boy. I'll see that your name isn't mentioned. Oh, policeman. Policeman.
What is it?
I want you to meet Emmanuel Ravelli, the fella who started the fire.
What?
Before I forget it, when you report this fire, don't mention Joe Crookley's name because there's a warrant out for his arrest. This is Sawtooth Radio Theater on 97.5, KBVU, Alta Storm Lake, BVTV Channel 3, and on the web at www.kbvu975.com. You know, Storm Lake is a special place with its picturesque parks, its charming downtown shopping and entertainment district, its schools and colleges, and, of course, the lake. But the most special thing about Storm Lake are the people of Storm Lake. From those who have deep roots in the community to those who have just begun to plant the seeds of their lives here, Storm Lake is a place where people work together to create a bright future for themselves and the generations to come. Storm Lake United is actively involved in making Storm Lake a community that encourages enterprise and entrepreneurship. Longtime businesses coexist with new ones, and Storm Lake United is there to help businesses, owners, and managers grow and strengthen their businesses. Storm Lake United promotes and recruits new businesses and industry to the Storm Lake area. And that's not all. Generating tourism, supporting local events, and contributing to the social betterment of Storm Lake are all part of the mission of Storm Lake United. Together, we are building a bright future for Storm Lake and the surrounding area. Now, to continue our story.
Silence in the court. Her Honor, the judge. Everybody rise.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The municipal court is now in session and stands until adjournment.
What's the next case, clerk?
It's the preliminary hearing, Your Honor, in the case of Joseph Big Joe Crookley, charged with the kidnapping of Emmanuel Ravelli.
Proceed with the hearing.
Your Honor, please, one moment.
What is it, Mr. Bardwell?
Your Honor, I'd like to say a few words on behalf of the Citizens Committee Against Crime.
Of course, Mr. Bardwell.
My organization regards this case as tremendously significant and wants to commend Mr. Flywheel here in open court for his noble, fearless, public-spirited activities in bringing that arch-enemy of the people, Joe Crookley, to justice.
Thanks, folks. Thanks. I've waited and struggled a long time for this, Anna. Why, I began life as a barefoot boy.
That's a nothing, boss. When I was born naked.
Gentlemen, the court wants this case to proceed.
Very well, Your Honor. If you and Ravelli will keep your traps shut, I'll proceed. As I was about to say before the judge horned in, when I was a wee bit of a tot, I was left an orphan.
You was left an orphan? What'd you do with it?
Mr. Flywheel, the court must ask you. Mr. Flywheel, the court may ask you to sit down. Now, Mr. District Attorney, proceed with the hearing.
If Your Honor, please. The state's attorney's office has been requested by the Citizens Committee to let Mr. Flywheel conduct the prosecution because of his splendid work in tracking down Joe Crookley.
Very good. Joseph Crookley, where's your attorney?
Judge, I offered to pay plenty, but I couldn't get a lawyer in this town with nerve enough to take my case. I even offered to pay as high as $5,000.
Just a minute, Your Honor. I'm talking now not as Flywheel, the lawyer, but as Flywheel, the man, the defender of human rights. In a court of justice, Your Honor, every man has certain inalienable rights. Every man has right to advice of attorney and counsel of a lawyer, especially if he has $5,000. Quickly, I will take your case, trot out the 5,000 claims.
Mr. Flywheel, the court was under the impression that you were going to prosecute Crookley.
Well, I was under that impression too. Until I heard about the $5,000. Let's start the case. The first witness for the defense is Emmanuel Ravelli.
Mr. Flywheel, you cannot call Ravelli to the defense. He's the man who says he was kidnapped.
So that's the story he's been spreading. Well, he's a liar.
Hey! What are you doing calling me a liar?
You're a liar. I didn't call you a liar. See, Your Honor, he wouldn't tell the truth under oath. Ravelli, get up there and take the oath.
Oh, okay, boss.
Order. Emmanuel Ravelli, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Hey, you want me to lose my job?
Emmanuel Ravelli, where were you born?
I wasn't born, I had a stepmother.
Come, Ravelli. Tell the court your birthday.
Hey, what do you want to know for, Judge? You ain't getting me nothing.
He's right, Your Honor. You haven't bought a thing since you bought your place on the bench.
See here, Mr. Flywheel, the court considers that remark most unnecessary and vicious.
Hey, Judge, that's what I got for my birthday.
You got what?
Vicious. I got a telegram with the very best wishes.
can we get on with this hearing? Mr. Ravelli, will you kindly state your age?
Oh, I'm 28.
28. Why, you said you were 28 when you appeared here in court 2 years ago.
Well, when Ravelli says something in court, he sticks to it.
There you are, Your Honor. I guess that'll hold you for a while. I make a motion that you dismiss the charges against my client.
Motion denied. Mr. Flywell, have you any other witnesses? I don't think this one is intelligent enough to understand court proceedings.
Did you hear that, Ravelli? Your Honor, just to show you what a fool you're making of yourself, I'm going to give my witness an intelligence test. Ravelli, what's the first letter of the alphabet?
Give me a hint.
Ravelli, is that question so hard for you?
No. The question's easy, but the answer's hard.
All right, I'll try another one. Where was the Declaration of Independence signed?
Oh, I know. At the bottom.
Right.
The court cannot help but regard all this irrelevant and immaterial. Mr. Flywell, you now claim that Crickley did not kidnap Ravelli. How is that Crickley is at the scene of the crime where he was holding Ravelli prisoner?
Frankly, Judge, that's got me kind of puzzled too. Say, maybe it was Ravelli who kidnapped Crookley.
Silence in the court.
Your Honor, in a case as important as this, we cannot be swayed by our emotions. Nothing matters but hard, cold facts. Remember, I too have a baby. I met her at a dance hall, and, Your Honor, I couldn't go home and face my baby if I felt that I was defending a guilty man.
Just a moment, Mr. Flywell. The prosecution hasn't been heard from yet. Do you expect to talk much longer?
Oh, yeah, certainly. The longer I talk, the longer my client stays out of jail. Your Honor, Joe Crookley is really a fine boy at heart. He's very good to his family. He never goes home. Why, for a whole year, he didn't talk to his wife. And why didn't he talk to his wife? Because he didn't want to interrupt her. Your Honor, I demand a habeas corpus.
A habeas corpus?
No, you needn't be embarrassed, Judge. I don't know what it means either.
Mr. Flywell, you've wasted enough of the court's time. Mrs. District Attorney, call your witnesses.
Your Honor, the state has been surprised in this case. We had counted on Emmanuel Ravelli as our witness, and since he's shifted to the defense, I'm afraid we have no case.
In that case, I am forced, much against my will, to dismiss the charges and release the defendant, Joseph Crickley. Crickley, you may go.
Tanks, Judge. So long, dear Flywheel.
Hey, Judge, he's leaving the courtroom. Bring him back.
Bring back Crickley? What for?
He owes me $5,000.
You're crazy, boss. We owe him $5,000.
Wait, we owe him $5,000?
Yeah, he had $10,000 in his pocketbook.
Well,
Well, I got his pocketbook.
so tonight we bring you the premiere of a new quiz show, Eager Beaver, the quiz show where speed is more important than accuracy. The rules are, I know, yeah. The rules are simple. Contestants have 30 seconds to answer as many questions as they can. Answers are tallied, and the person with the most answers correct, or answers, I guess, wins. Would my lovely assistant, Dalton Walker, care to help me? Indeed. Those cards right there. This is where we pick the contestants. Spread them out.
In advance.
Okay, so our first contestant, and when we call your name, please come on down. Yeah, that wasn't very good. I'm sorry. Our first contestant is Brock Watson. Come on down. Yeah, yeah. Brock here. Yep. All right. Yeah, give him a little shuffle, Dalton. Yep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just take a spot right over there at that mic. Our next contestant is... Can I get a drum roll, please, from the audience? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ooh. Andy Wabamole. All right. There we go. All right. Ooh. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to Eager Beaver.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah?
What's up?
Hey. So each night, 2 contestants are chosen for the audience, and here they are, Brock and Andy. Give them a round of applause, everyone. Yeah. So, good evening. And Brock, how are you feeling tonight? You enjoying the show so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. We worked very hard on it, if you can tell. So, Andy, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm great.
I'm great, too. So the time will start as soon as I've finished reading the first question. You have 30 seconds to answer as many questions as possible for a chance to win a fabulous gift package. Are you ready?
Are we going at the same time?
Yeah, whoever says it first.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Timekeeper, are you ready? Wherever they're located? Take that as a yes. So, just want to remind you guys, the winner of tonight's show gets to choose from 3 gift packages, and we'll invite you back up after the show is over. You get to pick. Now, the loser, we won't let you go home empty-handed. There's something for you, too. So, battle it out. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Some of these questions I don't even know, so this should be fun. All right. So the first question, 100 years ago, what was the lawn that's south of Shaler Chapel used for?
Tennis.
Soccer. I'm sorry?
Tennis.
And what was your answer, Brock?
Soccer.
Both sports, and those are both incorrect, but the correct answer was tethering horses and cows. Fun fact. I don't know if the proper tennis equipment would have really worked 100 years ago on grass. I don't know. So now we'll go to the next question. According to local legend, why was Lake Avenue made so wide?
Trucks.
Okay, that's an answer. That's certainly an answer, folks. Andy?
Oh, they needed a place to keep the horses.
That's, you know what? That's close enough. We're going to give Andy the points. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Brock, but he was close. The correct answer was, so horse races could be held on Lake Avenue. I know. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine horse races down Lake Avenue? Yeah, that would be awesome. Whoever said that, yes.
I know what we're doing on Friday.
Homecoming was a week ago. Hey, President Merchant, if you're listening or watching, horse races, homecoming on Lake Avenue. I'm expecting it. Yeah. All right. So that's 1 point for Andy. Brock, you still got plenty of time to get back on the board. It's not all over yet. All right.
Next question.
Yeah. Look at that sportsmanship. I love that. That is awesome. So what is the geographical name for the area where the wind farm is located?
Buffalo Ridge.
Correct. Yeah. 2-0. 2-0, Brock. You got to get your head in the game, man. Get your head in the game. Sorry. High School Musical. I'm sorry. Folks, I have a feeling that wasn't pity laughter. Okay. Skylar, it's your fault. I'm sorry. Let's go to the next question, shall we? You guys enjoying this so far? Yeah. All right. That's what I'm talking about. 2-0. Andy's in the lead. Tightly contested game. I know. What is the closest continent to Antarctica?
South America.
Andy's on a roll, folks. 3-0.
I would have said Africa.
Time. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
There's our timekeeper saying time. Congratulations, Andy. You won Eager Beaver. Wow. That's a clean sweep, 3-0. So we invite you back up after the show's over. You'll get to choose your prize. Same with you, Brock. Thank you guys for competing. Why don't we get a round of applause for our contestants here on Eager Beaver? Yeah. Whew. So we thank you for playing tonight and hopefully enjoying it. I mean, it seemed like you did. So stay tuned for tomorrow night's show of Radio Daze presented by Sawtooth Theater for the second edition of Eager Beavers. So if you didn't win tonight, if you didn't come up, it's another chance. Also another chance Saturday as well. Whew. So the next show is brought to you by the Coffee Tree in Storm Lake. Coffee Tree is the perfect place to have your daily cup of joe, but that's not all they have. There are smoothies, protein shakes, and healthy food options available as well. This family-owned business's pastries, sandwiches, fruit, and wide variety of drink options from different nationalities to get you back to your roots. And not only do their products always hit the spot, the atmosphere at Coffee Tree is really what sets them apart. Whether you are sipping apple cider and hot chocolate on their comfy couches on a chilly fall day like we're experiencing right now, with your friends, or having a coffee meeting with coworkers in one of their private meeting rooms, Coffee Tree has a comfortable and welcoming environment for everyone. Their private rooms are available for anyone in the community to use, and for all you technology lovers, there is Wi-Fi for your business or studying needs. Coffee Tree is open starting at 6:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday, so you'll never miss your morning cup of coffee. If you're in a hurry, Coffee Tree has a drive-through for those mornings when you're running out of time. So stop by for the drinks you love and plant your roots with the Coffee Tree. Just a reminder, you're listening to Sawtooth Radio Theater on 97.5 KBVU out to Storm Lake and BVTV Channel 3, streaming online on Facebook Live. Paxton's Jewelry presents radio's strangest adventurer, the Shadow. The mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of sharpsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. In his latest adventure, the Silent Avenger.
Order in the court.
Joseph Bricker, you have been duly tried by a jury and found guilty of murder in the first degree. You now appear in this court that sentence may be passed upon you. But before I pronounce sentence, have you anything to say?
Yeah, I have. Before you pass sentence on me, I'm gonna pass sentence on you. You, Judge Wilson. And Sloan, the prosecuting attorney, and those 12 good and true saps in the jury.
Order in the court.
And one more, maybe. The guy who really trapped me in this place. The only guy smart enough to get me. The Shadow.
Order in the court.
That will do, Joseph Bricker. You have nothing to say in your own behalf?
This is in my own behalf, and you'd better listen. All of you. I know I'm on the way to the death house, the chair, but I'm warning you. For every day I sit in a death house, one of you will be killed. Starting with the foreman of the jury. He'll die the day I burn.
Order in the court.
Joseph Bricker, by the power vested in me by the people of this state, I hereby order you to be taken to the state penitentiary, there to be delivered over to the warden, by whom, on a certain day determined by this court, he shall in a manner prescribed by law put you to death, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Court is adjourned. All right, come on. Clear the court. Outside.
Well, it's a sheer bluff, I tell ya. How can Bricker kill a whole jury? The DA, Judge Wilson, even the governor. I tell ya, he's crazy.
Still, I'm glad I wasn't on that jury.
You bet all his gang were wiped out.
Bricker's gang are all dead or in jail.
I know, but you can't.
Yeah, I know, but nobody's ever seen the Shadow. He could appear right in this courtroom and not be seen. I'd hate to have anybody like that.
There, Margot. Let's get out of here.
It must be very flattering to inspire such awe and fear, Lamont.
It has its disadvantage, Margot. Unfortunately, the mystery surrounding the Shadow inspires fear and terror in the innocent as well as the guilty. The unknown is so often associated with evil. There's no help for it. The shadow must remain a shadow.
Lamont, what do you think of Bricker's threat? Do you think it's just a bluff?
I wish I did, Margot.
Meaning...
Meaning, Lamont Cranston is going to don the shadow's cloak and call in Joe Bricker in prison.
Your brother's here to see you, Bricker.
Okay. Hello, Danny.
Hello, Joe.
You got 5 minutes. Better make the most of it. Deputies are here from the state pen to take you bye-bye to the big house. I'll be back.
All right. Come on in, Danny. Sit on the bunk. I want to talk to you and there ain't much time.
Hey, it's like a cage where they keep animals, huh, Joe?
All right, lay off that, Danny.
Okay. Don't get sore.
Sit down here and listen to what I got to say.
Are they gonna kill you, Joe?
Yeah, but they're gonna pay for it. Every last one of them. You know who they are, don't you? I've told you over and over again.
Yeah, Joe, you told me.
And you know what you're to do. You remember everything I told you? Don't you, Danny?
Yeah, Joe, I remember. I won't forget. When the newspapers say they put you in the death house, I killed one of them.
That's right, Danny. And don't forget, these people I told you about, the judge, the jury, the prosecuting attorney, are the same ones who's drafted you into the army, sent you over to France, let you get shell-shocked. It's so hard for you to remember anything.
Sure. I won't forget. Hey, will it hurt much when they kill you?
Stop that, will ya?
Okay, I just want to know.
Well, you just keep your mind on the jury, judge, and Judge Wilson, maybe even the governor. You'll get them all, eh, Danny?
Yeah, Joe. They won't know what hit them.
That's the stuff, Danny. Now, just one more thing. There's a guy that may get after you. Or he's smarter than the cops. He's the one who really got me. You gotta keep away from him. Don't give him a chance to find you.
But how can I do that?
Well, you gotta keep away from home. Don't go near the flat or the old lady.
But Mom will worry if I don't come home.
No, she won't, Danny. She'll know you got things to do.
All right, Joe. What about this fella I can't see? Is he dead? Like all my buddies in the war? The ones that talk to me in the dark.
Nah, Danny. This guy's different. He ain't dead. He's alive. You can hear his voice, only you can't see him. And if you ever hear his voice, you'll know he's near you. Somewhere in the shadows.
Yeah. If he talks to me, I'll fix him, Joe.
Sure. But not the way you'll get the others, Danny. Because you can't see him, see? Now look. You know those old hand grenades you have at home?
Yeah?
Well, I want you to carry a couple with you. If this guy ever finds you, if he tries to stop you, paying him off for killing me, you just pull the pin on the hand grenade and throw it where you think his voice is coming from. That'll get him.
All right, Joe. But how will I know when it's him?
Oh, you'll know it, right, Danny. Well, he has a queer kind of laugh, and he calls himself the Shadow.
All right, Bricker. Time's up. Come on, you.
Okay. So long, Danny. Don't forget anything.
So long, Joe. I wouldn't forget. Wouldn't forget nothing you told me.
Come on. You're out this way. Shake it up.
Oh, that poor dope. He'll do it, all right? He'll fix him, every last one of them, if I burn. Who's that? I heard somebody, but there's nobody here. Hey, guard!
Are you surprised to find me here, Joe Bricker?
A shadow.
So you weren't expecting me, and yet prisons are filled with shadows. Shadows in the minds of men, walking in the shadow of death itself.
What do you want? You put me in here, sent me to the chair. Won't you leave me alone?
Because your career of murder is not over. Because know you mean to carry out the threat you made in court.
Yeah, and you can't stop me, Shadow.
I can, because you are going to tell me how the jury, the prosecuting attorney, and Judge Wilson are going to be killed.
You're crazy. I ain't telling you anything, Shadow. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I got nothing to lose.
You are telling me, Bricker.
Yeah?
You see, I can read your mind. One thought is racing through your mind now. It's mirrored in your eyes, etched on your brain.
You're lying. Trying to trick me into telling you.
All right, I'll tell you what you're thinking about. You're thinking of a man. He acts strangely. He's shell-shocked.
No.
Am I right?
No, stop it.
This man is very close to you. I've got it. He's your brother. His name is, let's see, Danny. Danny, isn't it?
No, go away. Leave me
I
alone.
see that even now your brother, Danny, is hurrying home to get a high-powered rifle out of a trunk.
Not true.
A rifle equipped with telescopic sights.
No.
And a silencer. You're thinking of Danny's medals for marksmanship, his decorations for valor. A sniper. A sniper so cunning he could hide in an open battlefield.
A lie.
Pick his enemies off at long range and not be seen. That's all I need to know, Bricker. All I need to know.
No, you're crazy. You're just guessing, all right? Suppose he is. You won't find him. You won't stop him, Shadow.
Say, what's the matter with you? Who do you think you're talking to?
It's the Shadow. He's here in the prison.
Well, don't let that worry you, Brooker. There's plenty of shadows where you're going. Come on, the deputies are waiting, and you're heading for the last mile.
The Shadow will continue with his adventure in just a moment. In the meantime, the Buena Vista University Theater announces a Halloween costume sale on October 15, 16, 17, and 18, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 5:30 to 8 p.m. on the stage in Anderson Auditorium right here. From garments to wigs, from hats to accessories, students, faculty, staff, and Storm Lake community members are welcome to browse and buy. For more information, please call 712-749-2211. The number again, 712-749-2211. And now, back to the show.
Now look, Mr. Hanson, every one of you jurors is in danger. You shouldn't be here on the street. This death threat may seem like a lot of hooey to you, but I've been assigned to guard you, and if anything happens, they'll send me back to pounding a beat.
Well, I'm sorry, Inspector, but I've got my business to attend to, and I can't just hide in my office.
Hanson, what's the matter, man?
Say, what's the matter with that man? What's going on here? Get back, everybody. Who are you?
Craig, homicide squad. Man's been shot.
Shot? Ah, you're crazy. I didn't hear no shot.
Neither did I. Just the same, he's got a bullet right between his eyes. Looks like Joe Bricker is keeping his word.
Lamont, can't you do something? Can't you find Danny Bricker?
No, Margot, he got away. He hasn't been near his mother's home since his brother Joe went to the death house.
Extra! Get your extra here. Brickager shot down. Extra! Paper!
I've got to find Danny Bricker. He's somewhere, hiding somewhere, waiting to strike again. I've got to find him.
Good morning, Mrs. O'Hare. I'd like some oranges and...
Good heavens, Mrs. Adams, what are you doing out in the street? I thought the police had detectives watching every one of you jurors that was on the Bricker case.
Oh, they got detectives staying at my house, but I had to get some things for dinner, so I slipped out.
Mother, can I have some candy?
Yes, dear, of course you can. You can just...
Mother, what's the matter?
What have you done to me?
Sam! Yeah? Quick, call the police, get a doctor. Mrs. Adams has been shot.
Oh, I'm afraid she's dead.
Yes, the killer has struck again.
Judge Wilson,
Yes, Miss Harvey?
Judge, don't you think it would be, well, safer with a killer still at large if you had those window curtains closed?
No, that's not necessary. This apartment is on the 20th floor.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor. Just the same, I'll answer it, sir.
Thank you.
Hello? Yes, Judge Wilson is right here, Your Excellency. The governor's on the wire, sir. Here you are.
Hello? Yes, Governor. Yes, of course you couldn't commute Joe Bricker's sentence if you did a thing like that. Even to save the rest of the jury, there'd be no more law and order. Look, Governor, don't you think it'd be wise for you to cancel your engagement to ride in the parade tomorrow? You'll be in an open car and a perfect target. Ah!
Judge Wilson! Governor, Judge Wilson has just been shot. He's dead.
Good work, Margot.
Hello, Lamont.
Didn't take you long to get here. Let me help you out with the car.
I was waiting for your call, Lamont. As a matter of fact, I've been waiting for days. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
The same thing the entire police force of the city has been doing, Margot. Chasing a will-o'-the-wisp.
Are you sure it's Joe Bricker's brother, Danny?
Yes, I haven't any doubt of it, but the police can't find him, and I haven't a single clue to go on.
What do you know about him?
I looked up his record. He was shell-shocked during the war in France. He's an expert marksman, a sniper. Society trained him to kill men. They told him they were enemies, that he should kill them off. Now the shell-shocked mind is remembering what society taught him, to kill.
Yes.
And another thing, for people who have been through that experience, life is cheap.
Yes, but these poor people he's shot and killed, the jurors and the judge, they were only doing their duty. They're innocent.
Yes, individually they're innocent, Margot. Individually we're all innocent, and yet all guilty because this Danny, Joe Bricker's brother, is a product of our own folly. Teaching men to kill in time of war, yet expecting them to respect life in time of peace.
Lamont, why did you want me to meet you here?
I want you to do something for me, Margot. I want you to go into that brownstone house over there. Joe Bricker's mother lives in the basement.
Yes.
Joe is scheduled to die at 5 o'clock exactly. 10 minutes from now.
All right, Lamont, I'll do it. Where will you be?
I'll be with you, Margot, as the shadow. I have a feeling that Danny may come to his mother tonight, either just before or just after his brother dies. Hurry, we have less than 10 minutes. Here's the house. I'll ring the bell.
Lamont, what shall I tell her? That I'm a reporter?
Yes, but don't try to make her answer any questions.
I hear someone coming.
Yes, what do you want?
Mrs. Bricker, I'd like to speak to you. May I come in?
I don't care. You can come in if you want to. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. Nothing will ever matter ever again.
I know you've been through a terrible ordeal these past days, Mrs. Bricker.
How could you know what I've been through? How could anyone know? My one son, a murderer, and the other one? Goodness only knows what or where.
I'm very sorry. If there's anything I can do.
In 3 minutes, they'll be killing my son, Joe. There's nothing anyone can do. It's his brother, Daniel. I'm so worried about him. Why doesn't he come home? Why doesn't he come home?
Ma.
Oh, Danny!
Yeah, I come. Joe said I shouldn't, but I had to come. I knew you'd want me home.
Danny, where have you been? What's Joe been making you do?
I just been doing what Joe told me to do for him. Ma, who's that girl there? What's she doing here?
Why, she's just a friend, Danny. Just a friend come to sit with me.
She won't tell nobody I've been here, will she?
No, Danny. She won't tell anyone.
Ma, they're gonna kill Joe in a few minutes.
Yes?
5 o'clock. Then I gotta go out and do one more thing for Joe. Look, it's almost time.
No, Danny. No, you can't. I won't let you.
Let go of me, Ma.
No!
Let go of me.
Danny!
I gotta do what Joe told me. I gotta keep my word to Joe.
No, Danny. Listen to me. I know who's been killing those people, shooting them. Oh, you've got to give yourself up, Danny. They won't hurt you. They didn't know. You didn't know what you were doing. 5 o'clock.
It's time. It's time. 5 o'clock. Joe's dead. Now I gotta go back to the tower and do the last thing Joe wanted me to do for him.
Danny, don't. You've done enough harm.
You keep out of this. Joe told me to do this. I can still hear a voice telling me to do it.
Now you hear a voice telling you not to, Danny.
Voice? I know. You're the shadow.
Yes, Danny, for your own sake. For your mother's sake, Danny.
He told me what to do with you. He knew you'd find me. That's why I've got this hand grenade.
Oh, Danny, don't!
I got my finger on the firing pin. I'm gonna pull it out.
Stop, Danny. I'm warning you.
Voice came from there, in the corner. Joe told me to throw the grenade. Goodbye, Shadow.
What's happened?
It's all right. I managed to pick up the grenade and throw it through the window to the courtyard before it exploded.
Oh, thank heaven.
I don't mind saying that's the closest call the Shadow ever had.
Lamont, how long have you been here in your office? What happened? Were you able to trail Danny into his hiding place?
No. By the time I got to the street after that hand grenade episode, he disappeared.
Haven't you any idea where he went? Where that tower he mentioned might be?
No. I've been working on this enlarged map of the Midtown section, trying to find some tall building, some tower Danny Bricker could use to hide to pick off the governor.
When he said something about a tower, it must be somewhere along the line of the march of today's parade, Lamont.
Margot, that's the Wardman Tower.
But it isn't finished. They've stopped work on it. It's nothing but a steel frame.
What could be a better place for a sharpshooter like Danny Bricker? There's no work going on there, just a watchman down on the street level. Margot, it's a long chance, but it may be the answer. Come on, we haven't a minute to lose.
My car is downstairs, Lamont. I'll drive you over there. But what if he isn't there? What if he's somewhere else, waiting to strike?
In that case, Margot, I'm afraid we'll have a new governor of this state.
Just a couple of minutes now, Joe. Just a couple of minutes and the governor's car will come along. Then I'll do the last thing you asked me to do, Joe. Let's see. Wind velocity, 0. Range, 300 yards. He'll die quick, Joe. Like you died. Yeah, the governor's coming now, Joe. That's his automobile with all the flags on it. That's him sitting in the back with all those fellows around him. But I can pick him out. I won't miss, Joe.
Danny Bricker, listen to me.
Who was that? Who said that? Who laughed like that?
Don't you recognize the shadow, Danny?
But Joe said the hand grenade would fix you.
You see, Danny, your brother was wrong. Put down that rifle, Danny Bricker.
How did you find me way up here? How'd you know I was hiding up here amongst these steel girders, like I used to hide in the trees in the war?
That doesn't matter, Danny Bricker. All that matters is that you must not kill any more people.
But I got to. Just one more, Shadow. Just one more. The governor, down there in that car. I promised Joe.
No, Danny. You will never keep that promise. Put down that rifle. Put it down, Danny. Lay it down on that steel girder and crawl back to the catwalk.
All right. I'll put it down. Where are you, Shadow? I still got another grenade. Talk to me, Shadow. Say something so I can tell where you are.
Crawl back to the catwalk, Danny. Crawl back to the catwalk, I say.
No, I won't. You can't make me. Come here and get me if you want me, Shadow.
I don't want to have to do that, Danny.
Don't you come near me, Shadow. Don't you touch me. If you do, I'll drop this hand grenade. I'll throw it down on all those people. I'll kill dozens of them. There, I pulled the pin. I'll throw it.
Danny, listen to me. Hold that hand grenade, Danny. Hold it tight, Danny Bricker. See your fingers tighten about it. Your mind obeys mine. Do you hear me, Danny? Danny, hold it. Don't throw that hand grenade.
Hold it tight. Don't throw it.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it, Danny.
Don't drop it, Danny. Don't drop it, Danny. Don't drop it!
Yes, Commissioner Weston. A high-powered rifle fell into the street, right from the governor's car.
Well, I'm glad no one was hurt.
Uh-huh. This is the 30th floor. This is where the bomb went off. Blew the guy to pieces.
Good heavens! He must have had a time bomb that went off too quick. Any idea who it was?
Yep. They found an identification card and some newspaper clippings in his pocket. What was left of him. It was Danny Bricker, Joe Bricker's brother.
Well, I guess that's that. I guess we'll never know what really happened. Anyway, there's one consolation. Looks as though Shadow fell down on this case just as badly as we did.
Not quite, Commissioner Weston.
Oh, so you got here in time to take credit for this, huh, Shadow?
There is no credit. No glory in the death of Danny Bricker, Commissioner Weston. He was a victim, a human instrument of destruction, fashioned by mankind, that teaches men to kill their enemies in time of war, yet expects them to forget their murderous art in time of peace. Danny Bricker was an enemy of society, a killer, but only because you and I, and countless thousands, made him one. No, Commissioner, there's no glory in this for you, or for the Shadow, or for any man. As you sow evil, so shall you reap evil. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
From crime and punishment to comedy and romance. The Philadelphia Story is presented by Paxton's Jewelry in downtown Storm Lake. Paxton's Jewelry in Storm Lake is the local diamond shop open to all. It's there. Is there a special occasion coming up and you can't seem to find the perfect gift? Well, at Paxton's, they make it easy. Their staff has a passion for jewelry, so they are always friendly. Their faces help you find what's right for your occasion. Shopping is easy at Paxton's with a variety of styles and prices, free gift wrapping, and no interest free financing. Stop into Paxton's today because life is too short to be ordinary. You're listening to Sawtooth Radio Theater on 97.5 KBVU Alta Storm Lake, watching on BVTV Channel 3 and online on Facebook Live. Tracy Lord's first marriage to C.K. Dexter Haven was dissolved by a vigorous right to the jaw. And now, Tracy is about to be married again. The season's most important event to mainline society in Philadelphia and screamline journalism in New York, which brings us to the office of Mr. Kidd, owner and editor of Spy Magazine.
Miss Embry, you'll take your camera, of course. Connor, you'll take your own special talents.
Where?
Yeah, what's the deal?
Your assignment will be Spy's most sensational achievement, Tracy Lord.
Tracy Lord?
Big game hunting in Africa, fox hunting in Pennsylvania, married on impulse and divorced in rage, and always unapproachable by the press. The unapproachable Miss Lord.
Now look here, if you think
The Philadelphia story. Closed were the portals of snobbish fox hunting. No, wait. The hunter of foxes is Spy Magazine. Nevertheless, presented for the first time, quote, a wedding day inside mainline society.
Or what the kitchen maid saw through the keyhole, unquote.
You're the writer, Connor. I'm only the publisher.
All right, publisher, take this. Quote, no hunter of buckshot in the rear is cagey, crafty, Connor, unquote. Close paragraph.
Close job, close bank account. Look, Mr. Kidd, how could we even get inside the estate, let alone into the house?
Oh, it's been arranged. Miss Wallace,
Yes, sir.
send him in, please.
Now, Liz, wait a minute. We won't do it. It's degrading, demeaning, undignified.
So is an empty stomach. Now just relax. We'll have to...
Hello.
Who are you?
Connor, this gentleman has been employed in our Buenos Aires office. I believe he can help us.
How?
Tracy Lord's brother, Junius, is in the old American embassy down there as an old friend of this gentleman. He'll introduce you to the family as an intimate friend of Junius.
Dear old Junius. Well, does Tracy Lord know this guy?
Yes.
You might say Tracy and I grew up together.
You might also say you're C.K. Dexter Haven, and you were Tracy Lord's first husband.
Yes, you might.
Holy muck, what's going on here?
Oh, I remember that honeymoon very well, Mr. Dexter Haven. You and she in a little sailboat. The true love, wasn't it?
That's right. How did you know?
I was the one photographer whose camera you didn't smash. You were terribly nice about it. Just threw it into the ocean.
Oh, one of those, huh?
Yes, that's right. I rather thought our honeymoon was our own business.
Incidentally, he paid for all the cameras, Mike. I got a sweet letter of apology, too.
Oh, always the gentleman,
I wouldn't count on that.
Now then, what are the plans? The wedding is Saturday. Today is Thursday. They should spend tomorrow night as guests of the Lords.
Now, wait a minute. There's something screwy here. Now, if he's resigned, what's he doing this and, Oh, I get it, mister. You want to get even with your ex-bride.
As one gentleman to another, that may be exactly what I want. I'll have a car pick you up in North Philadelphia tomorrow noon. Good day.
Well, how do you like that? He walks out on us just as though we were...
Handkerchief, Mike? There's a little spit in your eye. It shows.
Oh dear, so many things to do and so little time. Tracy, when you finish listing those wedding presents...
Mother, how do you spell omelet?
2 L's, 2 M's. One or the other.
Omelet? That's a funny wedding present.
Dinah, dear, it's an omelet dish. This
It
one...
stinks.
Oh darling, don't say it stinks. If necessary, smells, but only if absolutely necessary.
Mother, if I ever finish writing down. Oh, this lamp. Isn't it awful?
Here, let me see that card. Oh, yes. Friends of your father's.
Wouldn't you know? What are they? Tap dancers, or are they just musical comedy producers?
Tracy, now that's hardly fair to your father's interest in the arts.
The arts! The art of putting up a fortune to display the shapely legs of some.
Tracy, please.
Oh, well, I'm certainly glad George isn't like that. Mother, isn't George an angel?
George is an angel.
Is he handsome, or is he not?
George is handsome.
I liked Dexter.
Really? Why don't you stop the wedding?
How?
Get smallpox.
Oh, please, don't give her any ideas. Tracy, now Dinah.
Oh, gee, Tracy's always so mean about Dexter.
Well, darling, he was rather mean to her.
Did he really sock her?
Dinah!
Really, Mother, if I don't choke her before Saturday?
That would stop the wedding, wouldn't it?
It would not. And you're supposed to be writing, young lady.
Yes, Dinah. They must be waiting at the stables.
All right, all right. Mother.
Yes, dear.
How do you get smallpox?
Oh.
Dinah, please go away.
I'm going.
Now, then, Tracy, let's get this list finished.
Mother, that whistle.
Dexter, you're back.
Dinah, my dream girl, my own true love.
Oh, no, it can't be.
He wouldn't dare.
Mother, look who's here. Mother, it's Dexter.
Well, hello.
Dexter Haven, you go right back where you came from.
I can't. Dinah says it's too awful here without me. Redhead, if you don't look in the pink. Much too nice for George.
If you think you can walk in here and...
Dexter, tell me, how is Junius?
Oh, Junius is fine. Heartbroken, of course, not to be here for the wedding. I suggested representing him as best man, but...
Dexter, I appreciate your offer, but I'm afraid George would prefer to have his best man sober.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you'll like the people Junius did send.
People?
That Junius sent, did you say?
Yes, Miss Embry and Mr. Connor. They're waiting now in the south parlor. You really ought to tell them what rooms they're to have.
Rooms?
Dexter, have you switched from liquor to dope by any chance?
Well, it was Junius's idea, you see. They've been terribly nice to him when they said they were coming to Philadelphia.
Dexter Haven, you're lying. I can always tell.
Can you, Red?
Yes, you have a habit of... Just a minute now. You went to work after the divorce, didn't you?
Not right after. First, I tested several hundred bottles of bourbon.
But after that, you took a job in South America. Who for?
A magazine.
Ah, and it wasn't by any chance Spy magazine?
Oh, you're just a massive intuition.
I don't suppose Junius's friends are photographers by any chance.
Well, not exactly by chance.
I thought you were low, Dex, but I never thought... Oh, you!
Oh, you're slipping, Red. I used to be afraid of that look. The withering glance of the goddess.
I didn't think that alcohol would destroy your last shred of decency so soon. I ought to...
Tracy, please. Dinah?
Mother, not yet.
Come along, dear. You're late for your ride.
But Mother, maybe he's gonna sock her again.
Dexter, I'll have no argument about this. I want those people out of here. And you, too.
Yes, Your Majesty. But first, could I interest you in some small blackmail?
No, you... What?
Here you are. Galley proofs, an article complete with snapshots, details, and insinuations ready for publication in Spy. About your father and that dancer in New York.
Father and Tina Mara. But they can't publish this. It's got to be stopped.
It is stopped temporarily. If you'll allow Miss Embry and Mr. Connor to turn in a story on your wedding. And when Mr. Kidd says story, he means story.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yes, dear. An intimate day with a society bride.
I am sick.
Too bad. Well, they're in the south parlor, Your Majesty. Shall I conduct you in?
Don't bother, please. I'm sure I know the way. I'm Tracy Lord, though I suppose you know that. Any friend of Junius's is a friend of... So nice having you with us.
We're happy to be here.
It's a pleasure.
Too bad Junius couldn't be here. At least one male member of the family.
Where's your father?
Darling Papa. I do hope you'll stay for my wedding.
Yes, we'd like to.
That was more or less the idea.
The house is rather a mess, of course, but we'll try to make you as comfortable as... Oh, What a cunning little camera.
I take pictures with it.
Well, I hope you'll take loads. Dear Papa and Mama aren't allowing any reporters in except for little Mr. Grace, who does the social news. Mr. Connor, can you imagine a grown-up man sinking so low?
No, it does seem pretty bad.
You're a sort of a writer, aren't you, Mr. Connor?
Well, sort of.
A book?
Mm-hmm.
Under what name do you publish?
My own, Macaulay Connor. Just try and call me that.
I won't. What's the Macaulay for?
My father taught English history. I'm Mike to my friends.
Of whom you have many, I'm sure. English history. It's always fascinated me. Cromwell, Robin Hood, Jack the Ripper. Where did he teach? I mean, your father.
In a high school in South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. It sounds like dancing, doesn't it? And this is your first visit to Philadelphia. A quaint old place, don't you think? Odd. Customs and such, where the scrapples eat victual on Sunday. But then you're still quite young.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm 30.
Really? One book isn't much for a man of 30. I don't mean to criticize. You're probably got other interests outside your work.
Nope, none. Unless...
Oh, how sweet. Are you two going together?
Well, sort of.
Engaged, I presume.
No.
But very much in love.
Well, isn't that a little personal?
Is it? But it's so very interesting, Miss Embry. Miss Embry, if a man says he loves a girl, don't you think he ought to marry her?
Hey now, just a...
Please, Mr. Connor, I asked Miss Embry a question.
Well, it depends.
I'm disappointed, Miss Embry. I've been very frank with you. However, I'll send a butler to show you your rooms. You'll join us, I hope, at the swimming pool.
Well, wow.
That's what I say. Who's interviewing whom?
Steady, old girl. Don't let her throw you.
You want to take over?
I want to go home, but since I'm on the job, I'll settle for the swimming pool.
Then she came out. He wandered in.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Connor.
Yes, you said to come down here. I didn't mean to interrupt your reading. Nothing important, I hope.
You bet. It's very important. It's your book.
Oh. I didn't know you had it.
Well, I didn't. I sent to the library for it.
Oh? You like it?
I like it very much, especially the story called With the Rich and Mighty. I think I like that one best.
Really? I got the proverb from a Spanish peasant's proverb. With the rich and mighty, always a little patience.
I like that. Tell me something, will you, Connor? When you can write a book like this, how can you possibly do anything else?
Well, you'll never believe it, but there are people in this world who have to work for a living.
Yeah, of course, but people buy books, don't they?
Not if there's a library around. That book represents 2 solid years' work that netted Connor less than...
Oh, heck, that's Dexter. Look, stand by, will you, Connor? I don't want to be alone with him.
Well, there you are. Found you just where I thought you'd be.
Fancy seeing you here.
Orange juice. Certainly.
Don't tell me you've forsaken your beloved whiskey and whiskeys.
No, but I think a pale pastel shade would be a better color for me today. How about you, Mr. Connor? You drink, don't you? Alcohol, I mean.
A little?
A little. And you a writer.
Dexter, will you do something for me?
Anything, Red. What?
Crawl into some small hole until after the wedding.
I couldn't do that. At least not until
Connor, don't miss a word. Don't miss a word. We are going to talk about me.
Yeah, why not? You find the subject fascinating. You're far and away your favorite person in the world. Of course, Mr. Connor. She's generous to a fault.
To a fault, Mr. Connor.
Except to other people's faults. For instance, to what used to be my deep and gorgeous thirst.
Disgusting.
A weakness, sure, and strength is your religion. Well, when I realized I was not expected to be a loving husband and a good companion, but a kind of a high priest to a virgin goddess.
Dexter, you...
Well, then my drinks grew more frequent and deeper. That's all.
Connor, don't you let him make you think... Why, he's gone.
I like him.
Dexter, what are you trying to make me out as?
Red, what do you fancy yourself as? What are you trying to do with this marriage to George? How can you even think of it?
George Kittredge is everything you're not. He's been poor, and he's had to work, and he's had to fight for everything, and I love him as I never even began to love you.
Really? You really are in love.
Yes, I am, and you needn't sound so contemptuous.
I'm not, Red. Never of you. You could be the finest woman in the world if you could just learn to have some regard for human frailty. If only you'd slip a little sometime. But I guess that's hopeless. Your sense of inner divinity won't allow that. This goddess must and shall remain intact. This woman must represent her class, a special class, the married maidens.
So help me, Dexter, if you say another word.
Tracy, darling, are you there by the pool?
George.
That's the new high priest. I'll run along. Here, Red, I brought you a little wedding present. Sorry I had no ribbon to wrap it up with. So long, Red.
A present? I wonder what... Oh.
Oh, there you are, my dear. I thought I'd run over and... Tracy, aren't you going to say hello?
Yeah. Yeah, hello, George.
Well, what's that you've got?
Oh, a wedding present from Dext. A picture of the true love. We sailed her up the coast of Maine and back the summer we were married. My, she was y'all.
Y'all, what's that?
Oh, it means easy to handle, quick to the helm, fast, bright. Everything a boat should be. Until it develops dry rot. Oh, George!
Oh, there now. He'll not upset you anymore. He never appreciated you anyway. How could he? Anyone as wonderful as you.
George!
Well, that's what I've always thought from the first time I saw you. You're like some marvelous, distant, queen, I guess. There's some kind of beautiful purity about you.
George!
That's what everyone feels. They worship you, darling.
George, listen, I don't want to be worshipped. I want to be loved.
Oh, you're that too?
I mean really loved.
Of course. And now I'll have to hurry, darling. Big party tonight, you know. Anyway, I'll pick you up around 9.
Well, I Connor! Hey, Connor! Are you around here somewhere?
Yeah, here in the dressing room. Were you calling me?
Yes, I was. Connor, do you ever take a drink?
A drink? Oh, yes, yes. Sometimes.
Well, that's good. Let's go in and open a bottle of champagne. Well, here we are, Professor.
You know, it's funny. I never noticed this light before.
Silly, that's the swimming pool.
Oh. You know, champagne's tricky. I'm used to bourbon. Bourbon's a slap on the back. Champagne's a heavy mist before my eyes.
A quick swim will fix that. Dexter and I always swam after parties.
Let's forget about Dexter. Have a drink.
Why not? Mike, do you hear a telephone ringing?
I did a little while ago. No, I can't hear. Well, now, yes, I do. No, well, it's very far away.
That's my bedroom telephone, and it's probably George. I'd better go in. No, it stopped.
Fine, drink your champagne.
That's a good idea.
Hello, you.
Hello.
You look fine.
I feel fine.
Did you like the party?
Sure, the prettiest sight in this fine, pretty world. The privileged class enjoying its privileges.
You're a snob, Connor.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, Tracy, hey, you can't marry that guy.
George? I'm going to. Why not?
You don't match up.
Professor, you're stepping out of character.
My mistake.
Oh, don't apologize.
Who's apologizing?
Really, I never knew such a man.
I guess I never knew a girl like you, Tracy.
Yeah?
Tracy, you're wonderful. There's a magnificence in you.
Mike.
A magnificence that comes out of your eyes and in your voice and in the way you stand and the way you walk. There's fires baked down in you, Tracy. Earth fires. Holocaust fires.
Mike, you don't think I'm like a goddess?
You're flesh and blood. That's the blank, unholy surprise. You're the golden girl, Tracy. You're full of life and warmth and delight. Hey, what goes on? You've got tears in your eyes.
Shut up, shut up. Oh, Mike, keep talking, will you?
What good is talk, Tracy? Tracy?
Golly, Moses, nobody's ever kissed me like that.
Tracy, I want to tell you something.
Please, all of a sudden I've got the shakes.
Please, Tracy.
It's as though my insteps were melting away. Gee, what is it? Have I got feet of clay or something?
Tracy, you're so lovely.
Wait, I know. The pool. There's a moon, and it's warm, and we could go.
Now?
Now. Mike, put me in your pocket and let's go swimming.
Don't you see, Dexter? I had to tell somebody. I could hardly wait until you got here this morning.
Yes, but Dinah, my love, are you sure it wasn't just a dream?
Well, I can't be positive, but...
Good morning.
What ho, the bride.
In her wedding dress.
Such a lovely day. Is everybody fine? That's fine.
How fine are you?
I don't know what's the matter with me. I can hardly open my eyes. I must have had too much sun yesterday.
It's awfully easy to get too much.
Tracy, you're not really going to, are you?
Going to what?
Marry George? After last night?
Last night? What are you talking about?
Tracy, don't you even remember?
Remember what?
I've been telling Dinah. It was just a dream.
A dream? What kind of a dream?
Well, last night it was awful late, I guess. I woke up and looked out of my window, and guess what I saw?
What?
Mr. Connor.
Mike?
Uh-huh. Sort of coming from the pool, with both arms full of something. What do you think it turned out to be?
What?
You. And some clothes, and you were sort of crooning.
I never crooned in my life. Then what?
Then he carried you into the house, and I could hear him take you into your room.
Mike and me? Well, I'm going crazy. I'm standing here on my own two hands and going crazy. What else?
Well, after that, he
Well, he what? What?
He maybe kind of,
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, well, morning, Connor. How do you feel? Well?
Mike, what's happened to your chin?
My chin? Oh, well, you see...
Tracy, I didn't get to tell you. When Mr. Connor came out again, George was waiting for him.
No.
Yeah, and Mr. Connor sort of maybe got hit on the chin.
George?
No, me.
You? Dex, you were there too. Good grief. Why didn't you sell tickets?
I'll say Dexter was there. What a clip he gave me.
I'm sorry, Mike. I thought I'd better hit you before George did. He's in better shape than I am.
Dex, Mike, will somebody please tell me what happened before I go stark, raving mad?
On the level, you don't know?
Of course I don't know. I don't remember anything.
Ah, lucky Tracy. She's drawn a blank.
Shut up, Dex. Mike, you tell me.
Well, you see...
Tracy, are you ready, darling? The guests are here and the bishop's waiting. Oh, dear. Where's George? George! Good heavens, Tracy, I forgot. He was here at 10 and left this note.
For me? I wonder what it could be.
Go on. Read it out loud, Red. We're all friends.
Yes, I will. Listen to this. Quote, your conduct last night was so shocking to my ideals of womanhood and my attitude towards you and the prospects of a happy and useful life together.
Tracy!
Hello, George.
Tracy, I didn't dream you... Oh, all these people.
Why, it's only a letter from a friend. They're my friends, too.
I thought I ought to come and explain.
It's clear enough, George. You're chucking me over, and good riddance.
Well, after all, I have a point. You know, on the very eve of your marriage...
Just a minute, George. Mike, why don't you tell him what happened last night?
Well, exactly 2 kisses and 1 late swim, after which I deposited Tracy in her room, and I left.
You mean to say that's all there was to it?
I do.
Why? Was I so terribly unattractive, Mike? So distant, so forbidding that you...
No, you were extremely attractive and far from distant or forbidding, but you were also very, well...
Pretty pixelated, Red.
Yeah, and there are rules about that.
Thank you, Mike. I think men are wonderful.
Tracy, perhaps I was a little hasty. But, well, a man does expect his wife to...
To behave herself, naturally.
To behave herself naturally.
Will you please?
Well, I'm sorry.
Tracy, if you're willing to let bygones be bygones, well, what do you say?
Goodbye, George.
I beg your pardon?
I said goodbye.
But we...
You see, you're much too good for me, George. You're 100 times too good. And I'd make you most unhappy. Most.
Oh, very well. If that's how you want it. Possibly it's just as well. Good day.
Congratulations, Red. Or is that proper without a groom?
Maybe we can make it proper. Tracy?
Yeah, Mike?
I got you into this. I'll get you out. Will you marry me, Tracy?
No, Mike. Thank you, but no.
Why not?
Because I don't think that nice girl with the camera would like it, and I'm not sure that you would, and I'm even a little doubtful about myself.
There goes your wedding music, Tracy.
And besides, I made a mistake yesterday. I opened a wedding present too soon. A present without any ribbons on it.
Red?
Just a picture of a boat. A boat I don't think I've ever forgotten.
Red, I've got an old wedding license, the one we didn't use when we eloped. What do you say?
Dexter, you sure?
Not in the least. But I'll risk it. Will you?
And you wouldn't be doing it just to save my face.
Why shouldn't I save it? It's a nice little face.
Oh, Dex, I'll be y'all this time, darling. I promise I'll be y'all.
Be whatever you like. You're my redhead. You all set?
All set. Oh, never have I been so full of love. Mike, how do I look?
Like a queen. Like a goddess.
That's funny, Mike, because you know how I feel? For the first time in my life? Like a human being.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of tonight's programs. It has been an eventful evening, and I'd like to take a moment to thank the Coffee Tree and Storm Lake United for their support of Sawtooth Radio Theater, and to our evening sponsor, Paxton's Jewelry in downtown Storm Lake, as our program sponsor. Thanks to the cast for this evening's programs. And give a special thanks to the sound effects crew. And the radio, cable, and web technology crews for all the magic they make happen. Absolutely. Folks, make sure you tune in tomorrow night or show up here in Anderson for another evening of adventure, mystery, and comedy, including Gunsmoke, The Importance of Being Earnest, Broadway's My Beat, and Who's on First, the classic Abbott and Costello skit. I know, it's a good one. Sawtooth Radio Theater is heard on 97.5 KBVU, out to Storm Lake, the University Cable Network, which is now BVTV Channel 3, and on the web on Facebook Live. Sawtooth Radio Theater is a cooperative production of the Departments of Theater and Digital Media at Buena Vista University. For the entire company, I'm tonight's MC, Guy Tannenbaum. Good night.